guys? Thanks for tuning in for another Deer 30. Right now, Brennen and I are on the road, bombing out of Nebraska, headed north to North Dakota for the opener up there. We just got done with a couple great days in Nebraska. Let B kind of touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, I still got a tag in my pocket, but we came out and we're hunting a new area. Actually had a buddy on Instagram kind of tip us off. He used to live in the area, and he dropped us some pins on base map. So we came out and kind of just ran around and speed scouted it and hunted it the last few days. Learned a lot, seen a decent number of deer, and had a couple really close calls. We just couldn't make it happen. But yeah, we're pulling out, heading to North Dakota. But as far as the hunting went here in Nebraska, a lot of standing crops, a lot of corn. The deer are starting to get into those cornfields right now, which kind of made it tough. A lot of those deer hanging tight in those cornfields, I think, for the majority of the day. You know, we still had a couple really close calls this morning. We almost got it done. We only hunted for a few hours this morning, but we kind of got down off of the hills where we had been hunting and got down on the flat ground where the deer were grazing out in the fields, and more or less tried to ambush them this morning on their way back to bed, and we almost made it happen. We had a group of bucks. I think there was, I don't know, I didn't count them. There had to have been at least a dozen bucks, and a handful of them were real nice, couple mongos that we watched them graze out in this bottom, and we were hoping they were going to come back up in the CRP where we'd watched them a couple other mornings, and they were kind of slowly working our way, and sure enough, somebody with a rifle about a mile or two north of us started cracking rounds off. Not sure what they were shooting at, but either way, they got the deer kind of fired up and boogered. So the deer were kind of coming across this flat at a rather quick clip, and we were on this service road trying to use pretty much a wall of ragweed to close the gap, and we were sneaking behind the ragweed, and they were coming so fast we could only get so far, and we ended up posting up. By the time they hit where they were crossing, they were at, I ranged the first one come out onto the road. I ranged them at like 102, 103 yards, and a couple of the bigger ones in the back. What the problem was, they all popped out on the road, and they just stood there in a cluster, and I'm sure Dylan, I haven't seen the footage yet, but I'm sure it's pretty goofy because I'm in front of Dylan on this pretty much sand service road, and where these deer jumped out, I mean, they were just sitting there in a big ball, and I mean, I had my pin maxed out. I was ready to let one fly if I could get one separated, but they just stood there in a big cluster and, you know, worked across the road, and just, it didn't work out, didn't get a shot. But we'll be back. Nebraska has kicked our ass for the last 7 years, ever since we've been hunting out here. I think Mike shot a mule deer one time with muzzleloader, and Dylan shot one antelope with his bow, but other than that, it has been just straight up ass kicker.
Nebraska. I just don't want to stop on this state until I kill something. I feel like a quitter.
I have never killed an animal.
It just gives you just enough to come back.
Yeah, it's the hunting's decent. I mean, it's not great, but at this point in the game, it's like personal. So I'm definitely coming back at some point. I'm gonna shoot something out here, and once I do, I'll probably just be done with it. Just end it on top. But for now, it's off to greener pastures in North Dakota.
Yeah, we got the opener tomorrow at noon. North Dakota opens noon Friday. We got myself and Brennen and Dylan hunting, along with one of our new guys, Goulash, and Randy's coming along to film him. Unger and Mike are coming along to film, so it's gonna be all 6 of us in camp. Just love getting to North Dakota opener every year and having the boys out. And pretty laid back hunt, provided you got some good bucks hitting the cameras and in the areas you set up. We should have an interesting weekend. Weather's looking all right. We got a really good cold front coming through Monday that we've been waiting on, watching for the last week, and it's looking like it's going to hit Monday, which will put probably Lyden and I will be the only ones left, along with Dylan and Randy, to film. So Mike and Ryan got to head back Monday, but we're going to be out there all weekend. Hopefully we got some good bucks hanging around, and hopefully we can get on them. So, and you guys are headed further west.
Yeah, we're meeting JP up on 94. I'm going to hop in his vehicle. Dylan's going to take my car to whitetail camp, and JP and I are going to western North Dakota. to chase mule deer all week. We'll be roughing it in the tent. JP's supposedly got some sort of TP tent that sleeps 7.
Chief JP.
So yeah, JP and a TP. So we'll see how that goes. We'll be out there all week. If he shoots one, I don't know if we'll stick around and continue to hunt muleys. I've also got an any deer tag for the state, but with that cold front coming and half of those guys leaving Dakota, I'd say there's a fair chance we might end up there also if we happen to get lucky out in the west part of the state. But yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, turn on, hit that notification bell. Season 7, if you haven't been watching it, is dropping weekly. We just released the 5th episode, which was a sweet hunt that Dylan and Unger had on their new lease in Wisconsin. That episode just went up this week, and we've got 12 episodes total. They're coming. We're going to try spitting out these deer 30s consistently throughout the fall. Just kind of give you guys a semi-live update as far as where we're traveling, what we're chasing, how it's going, if we're killing anything, if we're getting our ass handed to us.
It's also a good opportunity for us to know how it's going on your end. So
Yes.
drop those comments below.
Yes.
Let us know where you're headed for opener, how it goes for opener, how your cameras are looking. We want to hear about it. We want to know what's happening with you guys, just so we know that we aren't the only ones getting our asses kicked. So,
Yes, if you're in western Nebraska, hit us in the DMs when the corn comes off, because that would be very useful as far as us planning a return trip. So slide in the DMs, let us know the crops are coming out. But yeah, as always, thanks for following along. Thanks for tuning in for another Deer 30. Hopefully the next one's got a dead animal in it. We'll see you guys next time.
peace out.